Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, this is Lithium017 from my channel Nintendo Collecting 101, bringing you collecting tip number 57. This one's called trading. Once you are on the forums and you're on Facebook and you networked and everything like that, you may also want to consider just doing trades, especially when you start getting doubles of items or you start buying lots. And in the lots, you're obviously going to keep what you want, and there's going to be some items that you won't really need. So you could sell them on eBay, but another way to do it is to kind of just make trades with other collectors. So I highly suggest that you kind of use the forums, and there is an amazing website that I will post in the underbar, and it's called Game Trading Zone. So you can search that on Google, but it's called Game Trading Zone, and the website's I think GameTZ.com. And you can go on that, and it's just kind of a resource for you to post what you have to trade and what other collectors can have as well. And you can kind of just propose trades and see where other people are located even. So I do trades with other people in Canada mostly, and I even meet them in person sometimes just to swap. So here are some examples of trades that I've done. This amazing, very cool green custom painted Zelda controller was painted by Zosk. I've spoken about it a few times before, and this controller, I designed it and then sent him it, and this is one of the first N64 controllers I think he painted, and it looks fantastic. It's a green that doesn't really exist anywhere else, and we put the Triforce up on the top, and he even put the gold in the Nintendo, and it looks amazing. It looks fantastic. So what did I trade him for this? I traded him a Diahawks orange and black N64 console that I had, and I had another one of it, so it was a double, and it was loose, and it was boxed. So I think we just did a straight swap for that one, straight trade. And he lived in the UK, so the distance was pretty far to ship it, but it was amazing, and I got a really cool controller out of it because it's something custom. So you can definitely do trades with people if they are doing something that you can't. There's a few sellers, or there's a few people right now that are making amazing custom consoles, or they're making a handheld Nintendo 64 console, just like a Game Boy, but it plays N64 games. So some of them like to trade to get some rare items, and sometimes they just sell them, but to kind of get something really rare like this and custom, I thought a trade was a great option. So let's put that aside for a moment and talk about some of the other trades. One of the other early trades that I made was to get this Lethal Enforcers big box game. So there are several big box Super Nintendo games. There's 4 in North America, I believe. There's this one. There's obviously Earthbound. Everyone knows about Earthbound. There is Super Bomberman. That's 3. And then there's also Mario Paint. In Europe, there was many more. A lot of them were bundled with a walkthrough. But this Lethal Enforcer set, I saw it on Kijiji, which is Kijiji. A lot of people spell it wrong or ask me how to spell it. And then I also went on Game Trading Zone, and he just said, you know, like, what do you have for trade? And I said, oh, I'm on Game Trading Zone, and he was too. So I had a game for the DS, and I believe it might not have been Zelda, it might have been Resident Evil for the DS, which was a very rare game. I'm trying to remember the title at that point, but I'm not really interested in collecting for the DS, and he was. So he couldn't really find that game, and I couldn't really find this, and it does come with the awesome little blue gun to shoot with, and it's a really cool set. It's unique. And to get a big box game, it's not something I want to have shipped from eBay because it's so big and it weighs so much. So I thought trading was a great option, and that went through Game Trading Zone. Lethal Enforcers big box. Check it out. Another trade that I made just recently, the last one I'll talk about in this video, and why is trading so awesome. Another really big collector that has so many more games than me. He's collecting for everything. His name is Sick Cooper. You can check out his channel. I'll post a link right up there right now. Sick Cooper. Great collector. Really nice guy as well. I just traded him a boxed white GameCube controller from Japan. So this one looks awesome. I have a few of these left still, so I have some for trade, and I will actually show you at the end of the video the other items that I have for trade. So I traded him one of these, and I had a box for an N64 game called Virtual Pool, so I gave him that as well, but I didn't have that, so I'm just showing you what I gave him: an empty box and the instructions. And what am I getting in return? I'm getting a mini Super Nintendo console. Obviously, this is not the mini Nintendo console, but I don't have it yet, so I'll post a video when I get it eventually. But I got a mini Super Nintendo console, and obviously that trade wasn't quite fair, so I'm giving him 20 bucks. So keep in mind when you do a trade doesn't just have to be straight swaps for swap. You can include some money in that, and check out the shipping, because obviously him shipping a console is a lot more expensive than me just shipping a controller and a box. So my tip for trading is to go on Game Trading Zone or to check out forums and kind of trade with other people. But the other thing that I can tell you to obviously do is to keep a lot of items for trade. You can't really have trades because I don't like selling or trading items that I really hold dear in my collection that I want to keep. So it's good to have some items for trade. I'm going to pick up my camera, so just bear with me, and I'm going to go over to where all of my trades are. If you're wondering why I haven't been posting all that many videos of my actual room, it's because we're redoing part of my basement. So here we are, and we just redid this part of the basement, and no one really cares about that. But where do I keep my other games for trade? Basement's in disarray, but here they are right here. So here's what I have for trade. I have a few controllers, a few more of those white GameCube controllers, and a yellow one as well, a Game Boy Advance player that's Japanese. And all of these N64 boxes are actually empty. They are empty boxes. Some of them have the manuals. I have a complete copy of Pokemon Gold because it's a great trading piece. Everyone wants this. It does have the instructions, and obviously it has the game in there as well. And then I also have some GameCube games and some Wii games, and a few of those GameCube games are actually sealed. I don't collect sealed, so when I get them for a really good deal, I keep them for trades. And then a few, Genesis games and Super Nintendo games and things like that. And a few carts that are just loose. So I don't have that many, but what I do have, I'm willing to trade, and on top of that, I also have tons of Nintendo Power double magazines. So these ones I usually wouldn't ship. These ones I would keep locally to do trades with. And on top of all of that, I have some old school stuff like a Dreamcast Sports Edition, and I think this is my Atari that I no longer want to play. And in here is a bunch of PlayStation 1 stuff that I don't collect for at all, but I bought it in a lot, and even a Sega Genesis. So my suggestion for trades, keep some stuff on hand. You can't really do trades of items that you want to keep forever. So if you buy in a lot, then you can have some extra items, and that's a really good idea because you can get some great items from other collectors if you're willing to trade. And it's also a good idea to build up your feedback on these forums and on Game Trading Zone with trading. So Nintendo Age has a great place to trade, and it does keep feedback, so you can kind of see how authentic the other trader is and if they're a good person to trade with. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to hit the click the like button. Feel free to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links are in the underbar, and have a great day.